بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني من نور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue second chapter of 11th section. The second chapter is about division of knowledge into kulli and juz'i, universal and particular. And we said that kulli is what can be supposed to apply to more than one. It doesn't need to actually have more than one examples or instances. Maybe it has more than one, maybe it has only one, maybe sometimes even doesn't have any actual instances, but it is still kulli. And juz'i is something that cannot be applied to more than one. And we said that to be juz'i, it has to have some connection with existence, with real external existence, because it is only existence that can be the source of individuation. So we reached this point. وَمِمَّا تَقَدَّمْ. From what has been said, something becomes clear. So Allama Tabatabai mentions something that has been said commonly by philosophers, and he explains what is meant by that common saying. Not every philosopher, but it's common, you hear it a lot. Some people have said that ta'aqqul means intellection, or you can say intellectual thinking. They said ta'aqqul is by removing all particularities from the things that we know by our senses. For example, we see Zayd, Amr, Bakr, different individuals, different human beings. When we see them, they are juz'i. Even after seeing is finished, the image that we have in our khayal is still juz'i, as we explained. Yes, because it is connected to real world. But then we are able to work on those images and remove their shape and size and particularities and come up with the concept of human being. Concept of human being is kulli, and that is not something that exists by itself outside. Outside you see Zayd, Amr, Bakr, yes, but by removing their particularities, you reach the core, the common point between them, which is humanity. So some people have said ta'aqqul is here. When you do taqshir, qishr means a skin. Taqshir means peel, to peel, to remove the skin, to remove. So they said ta'aqqul is here. Allama rahmatullah alayhi says, this is a kind of simplification for the sake of education. Sometimes when you want to explain something to the beginners, you have to simplify. But this is not the everything about it. The reality is that all types of knowledge, even hissi and khiyali, are aqli. in the sense that they are all mujarrad. Because even the image of Zayd that you have in your mind is not a product of something which is material. You see Zayd with eyes, something happens, the image of that person, maybe you think through your eyes is going to your, for example, brain, but this is not knowledge. Some chemical changes happen, but these are only to prepare nafs to develop the image of Zayd. Image of Zayd is not going through your eyes and nerves to your brain. Image is mujarrad. What happens in eye or nerve or brain is not mujarrad. It's just some chemical actions and reactions. You shouldn't mix them up. Okay? It's like what we said in the previous session, that maybe something happens at a certain time, but that is the time for preparation, not that it is temporal. Please look at the text. وَمِمَّا تَقَدَّمْ يَظْهَرُ. From what has been said before so far, it becomes clear. أَنَّ قَوْلَهُمْ, the saying of philosophers, إن التعقل أنما هو بتقشير المعلوم عن المادة والأعراض المشخصة له حتى لا يبقى إلا الماهية المعرات عن القشور كالإنسان المجرد عن المادة الجسمية والمشخصات الزمانية والمكانية والوضعية وغيرها، بخلاف الإحساس المشروط بحضور المادة واكتناف الأعراض والهيئات الشخصية والخيال المشروط ببقاء الأعراض والهيئات المشخصة من دون حضور المادة. Now it is خبر. أن قولهم, then quotation mark is what they say, but خبر for قولهم is this: قول على سبيل التمثيل للتقريب. What these philosophers have said, and inshallah we will read again and explain word by word. What they have said is قول على سبيل التمثيل. It is just something that they have said as a kind of analogy, للتقريب, in order to make it understandable. They have simplified it so that we can understand. Otherwise, it's not exact philosophical understanding. Okay? So, now let's see what they have said. And this is what normally Masha'in have said. They said, ta'aqul, intellection or intellectual understanding, is happening with taqshir al-ma'lum. Taqshir means to peel, to remove the skin of ma'lum, to peel what is ma'lum, what is known to us, from what? What are the things that you have to leave aside? Maddeh. Zayd has a physical mass and it's a physical object which has some matter. Remove maddeh. Remove al-a'raz al-mushakhisa, those accidents that make it particular, like size, shape, color, weight, and these things. So they said ta'aqul is to remove maddeh and these a'raz from ma'lum حتى لا يبقى إلا الماهية المعرات عن الخشوع, so that nothing remains except the quiddity which is mu'arra. Mu'arra means naked, means it's empty from all these peels, all these skins. In Farsi we say mahiyat liside. Mahiyat liside means, for example, suppose you have a cherry, on top of it is some jams, for example, or creams. When you remove all the jam and cherry, then you have the cherry itself. Okay, so sometimes you put it in your mouth and you eat everything, just you leave the cherry. That is liside. So with your tongue you wash it, yeah, and clean it from anything else. So they say mahiyat liside means just the quiddity of humanity. No gender, no size, no shape, no age, no, for example, is alim or jahil, is a writer or not, is a poet, nothing else. Just focus on mahiyya. Okay? Al-mahiyya al-mu'arrat, from Oryan, means it's naked. It's everything else is taken off from it. كالإنسان المجرد عن المادة الجسمية, like human being which is emptied from physical matter and from those things that give particularities, time, space, condition, and other a'raz. Anything else, remove it. So they said ta'aqqul is this. Ta'aqqul is when you remove anything and just remains mahi. بخلاف الإحساس. They said in ihsas, when you perceive something like seeing, touching, smelling, tasting, المشروط بحضور المادة. Here, madda has to be there. When you see something, it has the matter. And also it is surrounded with accidents and those conditions and, circumstances that it has. It has certain shape, certain time, certain space, certain condition. It's upside down or, I don't know, a normal condition, near, far. All these things are there when you see something. Wal khayal. Also in khayal, although there is no madde present, because khayal is after sensation stops, but if you have seen Zayd and then you close your eyes, madde for Zayd is not there, but shape, size, condition, everything is there. Yeah? All the particularities remain, except just it's not connected to the physical matter. So, this saying suggests that in ihsas and khayal, we are not doing something aqli and we don't have something mujarrad, it is connected to madde. But he says this is qawlun ala sabil tamthil. This is just a kind of analogy, to bring idea closer to the mind, to make it easy for understanding. Otherwise, وَإِلَّا فَالْمَحْسُوسُ سُورَةٌ مُجَرَّدَةٌ عِلْمِيَّةٌ. Even mahsus, even something that you perceive it with your senses, it is a scientific image which is immaterial. Even image of Zayd is immaterial. You say that, but it has to be connected to real Zayd, which has material, which is maddi. Say, no problem. That is the condition for preparation of the soul. When I am seeing Zayd, my soul is prepared for developing an image which is immaterial. I need to see Zayd, but that is not my knowledge. My knowledge is different. That is condition for my knowledge. Okay? Your knowledge is in your soul, not even in your brain. You know, we point at brain, but it's just again for the sake of convenience. وَإِلَّا فَالْمَحْسُوسُ صُورَةٌ مُجَرَّدَةٌ عِلْمِيَّةٌ. Mahsus is an image which is immaterial and it is scientific. It is a scientific immaterial image. وَاشْتِرَاطُ حُضُورِ الْمَادَّةِ. And the condition, we say it's conditional upon presence of the matter. وَالْإِكْتِنَافِ بِالْأَعْرَاضِ الْمُشَخِّصَةِ. And it has to be surrounded with those accidents that make it a specific. This condition is لحصول الاستعداد في النفس. This is for nafs being prepared for ihsas, for perception. So who does perceive? Nafs, not your eye, not your brain, not your nerve, your nafs. And no matter whether it is idrak hissi or khiyali or aqli, any idrak is mujarrad. Yeah, any idrak is mujarrad, it's not maddi. وكذا اشتراط الاكتناف بالمشخصات للتخيل. The same is the condition that those a'raz, those accidents that make it personal or particular have to be there without matter. Yeah, for khayal, everything is there. Shape, form, size, condition, everything, location, time, everything is there. Just there is no connection to the matter. This is again just a condition for preparation of soul. You know, sometimes soul can come to this understanding even without connection. You know, if, for example, I or someone, for example, puts his nail on my hand, I feel it. But my feeling is not maddi, it's not something which is related to my skin or my brain. This helps my soul to develop that image. And therefore, sometimes it can happen in other ways. For example, there are people whose hand is cut off, but they feel that something is happening to their hand. Yeah? So it's the soul that needs to be somehow triggered or somehow provoked to develop this image. Most of the time happens through body. It can be through other things. Yeah? وكذا اشتراط التقشير في التعقل. And when they say in ta'aqqul we have to peel, what they mean is that we should have more than one person so that we can understand what is common between them. للدلالة, it's to indicate على اشتراط التخيل أزيد من فرد واحد. They want to say that it is a condition that we imagine more than one person so that our nerves can be prepared to understand Mahiyya al-Kulliyya, the universal quiddity, which we also express it, al-mu'abbar an, it is also expressed by this phrase, انتزاع الكلي من الأفراد, to abstract the universal from individuals. Okay, so any kind of ilm, whether it is ihsasi or khayali or aqli, is mujarrad. وَتَبَيَّنَ مِمَّا تَقَدَّمَ. Another thing which is becoming clear from what we have said so far is أن الوجود ينقسم من حيث التجرد عن المادة وعدمه إلى ثلاثة عوالم كلية. Being, with respect to being immaterial, being free from matter, or being with matter, is divided into three general realms. We can imagine three types of domains or realms in the existence. One is alam madde. You have different material things. One is alam khayal or alam mithal. Alam mithal is where you have things which are common with alam madde, but they don't have madde. For example, one aspect of alam mithal or khayal is our dreams. But this is called mithal muttasil. This is alam mithal which is connected to us. We have also independent alam mithal, which is independent from us. But we all have experience of dreams, so it's easier to explain. In your dream, when you see someone, it looks exactly the same person. Gender, shape, size, everything, color, weight. What is different? It doesn't have that madde. It's not physical. It's not three-dimensional. It doesn't have weight. It doesn't have physical mass. Yeah? It has all the particularities, except it doesn't have madde. So we have alam madde, which is material. We have alam mithal, which is free from madde, but has the particularities. And then we have alam uqul, which is completely immaterial. They don't have even shape or form or size. So there are three types of beings, or three levels, three domains. أحدها عالم المادة والقوة. The universe, the domain, the realm of matter and potentiality. This is alam tabi'at, this is alam mulk, what we see around us. الثاني, second, عالم التجرد عن المادة دون آثار. Is the universe that doesn't have madda, but it has the effects of madda. Madde is not there, but athar of madde are there. What do we mean by athar? Shakl, the shape, miqdar, quantity, waz', condition, وغيرها, like time, space, are there. In this realm, we have ففيه الصور الجسمانية, physical forms. You know, Surat al-Jismi is Jawhar, not Madde. Madde is another Jawhar, which is in the lower realm. But surat itself, surat, its actuality. That actuality is not in alam qubwah. Or a'razuha, the accidents for suwar jismani. Or hayahatu al-kamaliyya, or their conditions which are matter of perfection. For example, like knowledge. Knowledge for surat insani, for example. These are not in the alam madde. من غير مادة تحمل القوة والانفعال. This itself doesn't have madde. Please be careful. Something maddi may have this surah, but this surah itself is not from that realm. It's higher realm. We call this alam mithal, or al-barzakh bayna alam al-aql wa alam al-madda. It's like limbo. It's something between alam al-madda and alam al-uqul. It's a middle position. والثالث عالم التجرد عن المادة وآثارها. The third is the universe which doesn't have madde and doesn't have also shakl and size and all these things that are athar for madde. It doesn't have any of those particularities of madde. ويسمى عالم العقل. This is called عالم العقل. This aql is not human aql. This aql is those intellects that, for example, Masha'un said there are 10 of them, ughul ashara. You know, one type of jawhar was ughul, which are 100% mujarrad, yes. According to many philosophers, angels are from alam ughul, but not according to all. No. They can take form and shape. تَمَثَّلَ لَهَا بَشَرًا سَوِيًّا. But they don't have shape by themselves. It means it appears to you as that, but it doesn't have itself a shape. Not anything, but angels can take shape. Maybe even other ughul can manifest to us in a simple way. It's possible. بَقَدْ قَسَمُوا عَالَمَ الْمِثَالِ. They have also divided alam al-mithal further, and they said alam al-mithal has two branches. One is independent, one is dependent on us, is connected to us. قسموا عالم المثال إلى المثال الأعظم القائم بذاته, the greater عالم المثال, which is independent, is self-subsistent. Means whether we are there or not, it exists. والمثال الأصغر. For example, the souls of people who have died is in alam al-mithal. The souls of the people who have died is alam al-mithal. Whether we are there or not, they exist. But we have a smaller or minor alam al-mithal, al-qa'im bin-nafs, which depends on our soul. And every person has his own alam al-mithal. Yeah? Dependent on our soul. So you have those images in your soul which are mithali, means, for example, you have image of your father who might have passed away, for example. Yeah? You meet him in a dream, for example. This doesn't mean necessarily you have met his soul. If you meet his soul, means you have been connected to alam mithal a'zam. But if your soul is just only reviewing the images which are stored from the past, then this is alam mithal asghar. Okay? Asghar and Akbar are not two brothers, These are two different realms. Misal as Akbar means independent from us. Misal Asghar is part of our own understanding, part of our own soul activities. So when you dream, either your soul is rising and connecting to the souls, or maybe sometimes dream is just reviewing of what is in your archive. Even sometimes your mind can be creative. For example, takes part of someone's body and another part of another person's body, or you, for example, someone was fat, in your dream you see it very thin, or vice versa. These can be just games of the nafs. It's not necessarily indicating any fact. But if it's a true dream, means that your nafs is connected to some higher realities. And then, when it's connected to higher realities, either you see them in the way that they are, or sometimes you may see them in different ways, and then it needs interpretation, because you may not be able to understand the relation.
Are you saying that it is possible for a live material person's soul to travel to Barzakh and come back?
Yeah.
Barzakh is somewhere you travel.
Because your soul is not in dunya.
But you're attached to a...
Yeah, so your soul, this is why I said can rise. Your soul is now busy with managing your body. Yeah? It's like a bird that belongs to a sky, but we have, kept it in a cage, or we have tied some rope. So sometimes this bird can, with difficulty, get a little bit higher and see something and come back. You are in possible, you can go to Barzakh and come back, but it doesn't mean that you have died. Allahu yatawaffa al-anfusa hina mawtaha wallati lam tamut fi manamaha. When you asleep is a little like death. So your soul is partially taken, but not completely. If you are supposed to die, it doesn't come back. فَيُمْسِكُ الَّتِي قَضَى عَلَيْهَا الْمَوْتِ وَيُرْسِلُ الْأُخْرَى إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ. If you are not supposed to die, it will be released. So when you are asleep, you are very similar to someone who has died. The difference is that the one who has died is no longer responsible with management of body, but you are still responsible with management of body. But in some cases, even those who die, still they manage the body. They keep the body fresh. Some people can do that. So we have al-mithal al-a'zam, which is al-qa'im bil-dhati, is self-subsistent, wal-mithal al-asghar al-qa'im bil-nafs, which depends on our soul. الذي تتصرف فيه النفس كيف تشاء. Our soul manipulates it, means is active, changes it, runs it as she wishes. بحسب الدواعي المختلفة, according to different motives, which might be حقة والجزافية, either because of good reasons or just arbitrarily. The soul can manipulate. When I say manipulate, I don't mean in a negative sense. Sometimes can be bad manipulation, sometimes can be good. I mean changing, tasarruf. فتأتي أحيانا بصور حقة صالحة. Sometimes our nafs brings images which are correct, which are true, and sometimes brings بصور جزافية تعبث بها, brings images which are not real and are playing. Nafs is playing with them. Abath, like you play with your beard. Ta'bathu biha means playing with it. Al-awalimu thalathatul madhkurah mutarattabatun tulan. These three universes or realms come in a hierarchical order. Tulan. There's order, hierarchical order. فَأَعْلَاهَا مَرْتَبَةً وَأَقْوَاهَا وَأَقْدَمُهَا وُجُودًا وَأَقْرَبُهَا مِنَ الْمَبْدَأِ الْأَوَّلِ تَعَالَى عَالَمُ الْعُقُولِ الْمُجَرَّدَةِ. The highest in rank, the strongest, the one which precedes in existence, the one which is nearest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Alam al-Uqul. That is nearest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these are uqul which are mujarrad, immaterial. Why they are the strongest and nearest to Allah? Because لِتَمَامِ فِعْلِيَّتَهَا. They are 100% actual. And they don't have any matter or potentiality. وَتَنَزُّهِ زَوَاتِهَا. Their essence is free from mixture of matter and potentiality. شوب المادة والقوة. After that, يليه عالم المثال. After عالم العقول, we come one level down, we have عالم المثال. عالم المثال has آثار of madde, but no madde. So it's better than alam al-madde because it doesn't have madde, but it has athar of madde. وَيَلِيهِ عَالَمُ الْمِثَالِ الْمُتَنَزَّهِ عَنِ الْمَادَّةِ دُونَ آثَارَ. It is free from madde, but not free from athar, like shekl and hajm and miqdar, all these things. It has. وَيَلِيهِ. After that, the lowest one is alamul madde. Alamul madde موطن كل نقص وشر is the place for any bad thing, any imperfection, any deficiency is here. ولا يتعلق بما فيه علم. And then there's a very important point. This last sentence is very important. It's very important. Ilm is what? Mujarrad. How can you know something which is maddi in Adam and Maddi? He says, our knowledge does not belong to Alam and Maddi except from a particular perspective, a particular dimension. So when we look at Alam and Maddi, we have to take an image of it which suits our nafs, which is mujarrad. Yeah? So, somehow, like for example, suppose if an angel looks at us, what would the angel see? Angel cannot in the sense of imperfection. It's higher than having material images. Angel does not have material images, but has a kind of intellectual understanding of material world that make him aware of what is happening here. Or like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't smell, for example, a fragrance like we smell, but he has understanding of the smell. You understand the difference? Even our nafs in reality doesn't smell. A smell is a physical organ doing this smelling. But there's an experience in nafs that happens after smelling. Okay? لا يتعلق بما فيه علم. لا يتعلق بما فيه علم. No knowledge belongs to what is in alam madde, this last one. No knowledge belongs to what is in this lowest one, except إلا من جهة ما يحاذيه من المثال والعقل. Except through that perspective which is parallel to this alam. So from mithali or aqli perspective, you look at it. You know, if someone is dead and is, for example, as we have in some hadith, comes and visiting his family, how that person is seeing what is happening? With eyes? Maybe when he was alive, he needed glasses. He was, yeah? Or maybe at the end of his life, he became blind. So he cannot use these eyes. He has misali understanding. So we never have maddi understanding because knowledge is always immaterial. You understand? It's just parallel to that. لا يتعلق بما فيه علم. No knowledge belongs to what is in this lowest one, which is alam madde, إلا من جهة ما يحاذي, except from that perspective which is parallel to it from mithal or aql. So from the two other higher realm, we can know what is happening here. Okay, alhamdulillah, this chapter finished. Inshallah, we continue next session. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin.
Can you say that everything Maji has a equivalent